Welcome to Brews and Reviews. I'm Brew, this is Review.
Hello and welcome back to the Brews and Reviews.
Because you took a deep breath. Can't be doing this shit, man. Can't stop it. Just stop looking at me. Stop looking at me, clown.
Does he have a name?
Eli.
Eli, because I've just got him written down as bloke. No, other bloke.
Bloke from Prison Break.
That's a good one. Alright, we should save that for content.
Just clip it.
Hello and welcome back to the Brews and Reviews podcast. This is our show, 24 after 24, where we take a look back at the hit TV series 24, give a little bit of an overview of what goes on in the show, and then a little bit of commentary. My name is Brenton.
And I'm Ryan.
So this week we are up to episodes 8, 9 and 10, and it is heating up.
Is it ever?
We're ramping up. We're getting some action. It's getting pretty full on in some scenes as well.
Oh, yeah.
We're starting to really hit that MA rating, I think.
Yeah, I still can't believe there's no swearing in this, but there's other stuff going on.
There's a lot of content, especially in, I think it's is it the third one that we watched, or is it the second one? Anyway, we'll get to that. It's full on.
I think it's the second.
But we're not allowed to swear.
But we can.
Oh, yeah. Be prepared for your ears. So before we get started onto the episodes, we're going to do our weekly review of our brews. What have you brought in today, Ryan?
Oh, well, I've spiced it up a bit. I've gone with the Pirate Life. So South Australia still. And it's a Pina Colada sour ale.
It's a Pina Colada.
I don't think I've ever had a sour beer.
Surely you have.
I probably have. I'm just going to picture this as like sucking on a cat's butthole.
We'll do a zoom in on your face as you take a sip. No, you would have had surely in like one of those paddles at a brewery or something. There's always a sour.
When did we go to Pirate Life? Were you there?
Yes.
Oh, we had a paddle. Maybe I have had a sour.
I reckon you would have.
I don't know about Pina Coladas though.
We certainly played some shuffleboard there, I reckon. Is that what it's called? Is that the one where you slide the...
Is that like similar to the one where you got the brooms?
Like curling.
That's the word. Yeah. Just tabletop curling.
A little bit different to curling. No, it's got the sand on the board. Maybe it's not called shuffleboard.
They've got it there.
I reckon they've got two tables.
Yeah.
It's going to sound like we're sponsored by Pirate Life or something, because I've got Pirate Life as well this week.
Check it.
What was it? 2 weeks ago I had the hazy pale. This week I've gone for the South Coast pale. So I'm assuming just a little bit more of a regular pale ale, not hazy, not extra, just pale.
Just pale.
So yeah, obviously South Australia. 4.4%. What's that? 1.2 standard drinks.
4.6.
Not like the one that you sent me a photo of earlier today.
Yeah,
what was that?
That was some stout, it was a 440ml can, and was it like 12%?
Yeah.
Whatever it was, it cost $30 a can, just for a can, and it was 4.7 standard drinks or something.
Ridiculous. Yeah, that's no beer for a podcast.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, let's crack them.
Ooh, timing.
Yeah. It's going to sound like just one beer was opened.
Oh, yeah, this smells off. I may only get through 2 sips of this. Let's have a go.
Yeah, that's a nice, easy drinking pale. Are you going to finish it?
That's not bad.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What's the sour note? Is it like a lime or...
Well, pineapple, because it's like Pina Colada. Pineapple?
Yeah, pineapple's sour. I'd say pineapple's sour.
Yeah, I'm getting like pineapple.
Nice.
I think Pina Colada's pineapple.
Sure.
I don't think I've ever had a Pina Colada.
I had my first one last year when we were on holiday.
Must be nice.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Very nice. Okay, so I not liking it as much as the hazy extra, but still good. So probably we'll go 7.
Nice. Hang on, I'm gonna have another sip because bit of ASMR for you. That's me putting it on the tongue.
That's horrible.
Yeah, I'm liking this. I'm gonna give this like a 7.5.
Very good. Good start. All right, getting into this week's episodes. Like I said earlier, we're doing episodes 8, 9, and 10. Where did we leave off at the end of
See, this is where I
episode
fuck up
7?
because I can't remember.
I reckon it was as Terry was coming into the compound.
Yeah.
So we left
something
off.
around that point anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also Nina getting up after being shot by Jack. Is that all in the same?
Maybe that. Yeah, when she's walking off she's just been on the cast of Walking Dead.
That's right. In the quarry or wherever she is.
Yeah, it's like an oil rig or like a
2 minutes out of town where the rest of it's set. So it is now daytime. So we're between the hours of 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock in the morning. So sun is now up, and it feels like it's changed. Like there's a definite shift in, I feel like, momentum.
Yeah, it's like,
everything's speeding up a
up
bit.
and about.
Yeah.
Before that, like, how random's the intro again now?
It's all changed.
Yeah, and it's like got all these like is it flashbacks or is it?
Yeah,
or
yeah. No, it is. It's flashbacks from the earlier episodes. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's like Jack saying, he's talking about it, and he's like, "This is the worst day ever." This is my worst day.
I think he talks about that it's the day of the presidential primary. His wife and daughter have been kidnapped, and it's the worst day of his life.
And then like the last clip of him's like leaning up against a wall or something, and he's just held depressed. I mean, you would be, wouldn't you?
Oh, he's not having a good one. So yeah, sun's up. I found it's they've gone for that. Like the only thing I can describe it as is like Sicario, that movie, or any sort of movie set in the Middle East, that color tone where it's all like desert looking. I don't know if it's because it's like
is it
early
supposed to be
morning and sunrise.
It's so grainy.
Yeah,
it's almost like they are in a desert and there's a sandstorm going across the bloody camera.
Anyway, that goes throughout all 3 episodes that we watched as well. I noticed it's that same time. I don't know if that's just the what do they call it? Color grading.
Yeah,
maybe that's just what the look that they're going for.
Maybe they had had a budget for that and they just got a new bloke. He's learning the ropes. Maybe it'll get better like us.
So where do you want to start? Do you want to start with Martin and David?
Yeah, we may as well.
So to recap, Martin, his name's not really Martin. It's the fake Martin.
Yeah. Does he have a name? I don't know.
He must do. It must have been in one of those, either episode 1 or 2. Surely someone's said his name at some point. But they're sort of intertwined in this episode, so we'll group them together.
Yeah, there's a lot of intertwine. I mean, it's part of the show, isn't it?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of coming together.
Bit of mashups.
Well,
we're going to do it in the same format we did last week.
That's right. So we're going to go sort of everyone's storyline.
Yeah.
Run through each of them as best we can, rather than going scene by scene.
Yep.
So exactly the same as last episode. David and Sherry are still fighting.
Oh, when are they
just
not?
Constant back and forth.
Over fucking Keith.
Yeah. Keith is still being a dick as well.
Yeah.
David's trying to get both of them on board, both of them having none of it. So what's the line that when Keith and David are having a fight?
Oh, something, you fool? Like,
oh yeah, that's right.
Because he's saying like, well, I'm going to end up in jail. Like, I'm a black man and I've killed a white person. Like, you're dreaming, fool. Something along the lines of that.
Yeah.
And then Palmer says to Sherry, "Stand by me, Sherry," and touches her chin. Just gives her a little stroke.
But she's not warming to him. She's been cold last episode. She's cold this episode.
Yeah.
Not happy with his decisions.
I can't remember. I still can't remember it, by the way. Nothing's coming back to me. This is like I'm watching it too.
I wonder whether you did not start in season 1. Maybe you just started later on in the in the series.
And then because back then it's
you don't go back and look at it because
unless there's reruns on rent the DVD from Blockbuster. Yeah.
So Martin has arrived at where David is having the breakfast. So it's an energy. I think they call it an energy facility.
Yeah, so this whole time when they're talking about the breakfast in previous episodes, I'm thinking like a big sit down. Like there's a bunch of like important people there. It's not. It's just
I'm thinking like the donors that gave enough money, they get invited to the breakfast.
And
no, it's more like a publicity stunt.
Yeah,
I think he said something about how energy is important for America's future. So they're at, I don't know, is it like a gas facility?
I know there's a lot of steam in this building.
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Or they're producing electricity of some sort.
Yeah.
So yeah, the fake Martin arrives. He clears security with ease.
Yeah, Aaron checks him in too.
Aaron, who's Aaron?
He's the head of the Secret Service. Like he's
Pierce.
Aaron Pierce.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. Aaron Pierce. Yeah.
Male name?
Aaron. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if I've ever.
We had an Aaron at school.
I remember Aaron as a female. I don't know if I'm going to look that up.
Never assume.
That's true. That's true. So yeah, Martin arrives first. He clears security. He's inside, and then just after he arrives, David gets there.
Yeah.
So David
arrives through the back door.
Yes, he does. He goes up through some one of those old school elevator shafts.
It's like like a cargo shaft, almost like you can take stuff up. I guess that's what lifts do, right?
So
up and down. I'm having a good one.
So Jack also arrives a bit later.
Yeah. But he's got a bit of running around to do just before.
Yeah, I think we'll probably get into him a bit later on. But when David arrives, obviously Aaron Pierce, I'm just going to call him Pierce.
Yeah.
For ease.
Aaron.
He knows about the threat on David's life, and he wants to pull David out, but David refuses, as he always does. He keeps playing it down. Like he just does not want to take it seriously.
It's like, mate, the head of like your detail that's supposed to be protecting you is telling you like, yeah, we got to go.
Yeah.
Can't be doing this. No. I've got something important to say. And he's what did he? Because he was supposed to start his speech at like 8 o'clock or something.
Right.
But then he told Aaron, he's like, all right, I'll lose some of the FaceTime and I'll start the speech early.
Oh, because he's going around and talking to a bunch of people first.
Yeah, he's having chit chats.
Right.
Yeah, because
so he's trying to. Yeah, he's going to cut it short.
Yeah, like Jack arrives later, and then he's wandering around, and he's got his earpiece in talking to Gaines.
Yep.
So he's telling him what to do. But there's that moment where they see Palmer. Him and Palmer have like a little eye off.
Yeah, which
is full glare, eh?
But it's an odd one. It's like, do you know each other or
not? When I saw that, I was like, is he trying to be like, I know that guy?
Yeah, I wonder whether they do, because it sort of comes up a bit later. But
yeah.
Anyway, so there's not much to David in this episode.
Not the David side.
Yeah,
there's a lot of action happening around David.
Yeah, at the energy facility.
Yeah.
So he sort of, the way that he ends in his episode is he takes the stage, ready to do his
Starts his speech, yeah.
As Martin sort of is moving into position. So you're sort of like, all right, he's about to start and Martin's going to shoot him.
Is that second episode or is that?
Well, it sort of ends with them sort of moving into those positions.
Yeah.
So that's really it for David. So he's not in it much, which not really a problem. There's plenty of other action going on.
Yeah. Just skip to Terry and Kim.
Yeah, let's go to Terry and Kim.
So obviously we got my throat's going off tonight.
It's that sour that you're drinking.
Yeah, it's really puckering me up. So obviously last episode we saw Kim has arrived at the Gaines lair.
Yes.
Lair. This is quite a niche subject, or is it niche? Anyway.
Niche.
So yeah, we see Terry meets Gaines in the little bunker.
It's funny, like
such a weird
backdrop
place.
Behind where his TV, like his monitors are. It looks like it's in a cave, but it's clearly not. It's just a building.
Oh, it's clearly a stage set up.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it sandbags and stuff, or is it?
I don't know.
It's like he's in a military camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, so, and at this time, Gaines is talking to Jack and I think at this point in time, Jack's in the car waiting near the bus stop or something.
Yes.
To get a briefcase, but we'll get to Jack. And she gets to briefly talk to Jack.
And
she's like, oh, Jack, I don't know where I went. And she's trying to like give him clues, and Gaines like, no, not having to borrow that.
Yeah.
And then they take Tessa away, and they finally Kim and Terry meet up again. Big hugs. I've written big hugs.
I've also written that Kim has been upgraded. She's no longer in that little wood shed that she was in earlier. That she's now got a big barn to herself.
Oh yeah, there's so much shit in there you could like.
Yeah.
The whole time I'm like, just why don't you make like a knife or something, or steal something and I don't know, get away.
Yeah, they got a lot more room now. One other thing that Gaines, when he had Terry, And I feel like he said this to Kim earlier as well, is that if Jack does what he's told, you'll be free within the hour or something like that.
Yeah, within the hour.
I'm like, come off it.
Yeah, but later on, I think it's in this moment, not far. Oh no, it's when Terry tries to fight Rick because she meets Rick.
Well, that's pretty much next after they.
Well, she asked like after they know. She's like, Kim asked about Jack. Does he know we're here? I was like, fucking oath, he knows. And then and Kim's like, Janet got hit by a car. But then at the same time, I'm thinking, I'm like, is she going to tell her that she's dead?
Well,
but
she didn't ask.
Then I'm like, no. But then I'm like, well, she doesn't know.
No, she thinks she's okay.
Yeah. But she's like, Janet's dad's
realize.
not fucking Janet's dad.
But yeah, she said, oh yeah, Janet's been hit by a car. Terry says, I know. I'm like, the next thing you would ask is, oh, do you know if she's okay? Like, she's just like, oh, good, you know too.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then, so next, Kim has a sleep. So she's having a deep sleep, I reckon, because there's a lot of commotion going on around her. And that's when Terry meets Rick. And because Rick comes in with like, I don't know, a bag of donuts or something. And is like, oh, is Kim okay? And she's like, who are you? He's like, oh, I'm Rick. And he's like, you're the one that like took my daughter and then tries to like bash him.
Yeah.
And then Eli comes in and it's like, what are you doing? Break it up. And then he says, don't make friends, Rick. They won't be around much longer.
Yeah.
And then...
But he clearly wasn't making friends either. Like, he was fighting her.
Yeah.
And he came in being like, what are you doing? Are you helping them?
Yeah.
Like, they were wrestling.
Eli, he's the other guard.
Yeah.
He's a fucking idiot.
We come back to him later. It is later, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's next episode.
Yeah. But also, I feel like Rick, they've tried to change his character a bit. So...
Well, they're trying to make him more likable, I think.
Yeah. He says to Terry, I didn't know this was going to happen or something like that. But in episodes like 1 and 2, he was heaps darker and
like
but
that's because Dan had a bit of influence on him.
True, but he made it seem like he knew what was going on and what the deal was.
Yeah,
and now he's trying to.
I mean, he was going to get 10 grand. He's still up for the 10. I mean, he's head of them now. He's like,
it's a lot of money.
You're the leader now.
Yeah,
yeah. So this is where I just remembered then. So Kim and Terry end up having like a D&M. And I'm like, and she at one point says like, Mum, you're freaking me out. And I was like, why'd she say that? But then I realised it's because Kim didn't hear the don't make friends, you won't be around any longer. Yeah. Much longer.
So she was, Terry was telling her that she loved her and stuff. I originally noted down that they had a super awkward conversation.
I mean, it is fucking awkward.
Terry was super weird in that scene.
Yeah. Do you feel like Terry's acting's got better?
I thought that particular scene was not better.
Yeah, I feel like she gets better though.
Yeah.
Like when she's...
Later in, maybe it's episode 9 that it was better. But I did not like that scene. I don't know, maybe I just don't like feelings.
Yeah. Yeah, so for some reason I've written down Jack has screwed them.
Oh.
I don't know why. Anyway, but... that's because Jack's... Yeah, that's later on in the episode.
So Jack's... This is a difficult one because since we're going storyline, essentially their storyline for the show, for this episode finishes with them being knelt down outside, being
Jack's fucked up,
being prepared to get shot.
Yep.
And it looks like they're actually about to...
That is a long
to be
pause,
assassinated. Yeah.
The long pause between... Because obviously they don't get killed in the end.
Yep.
But the long pause between... Do you want both of them dead? And then it like skips to Gaines. He's like just silent for a little bit. I was like, is Terry about to die?
Yeah.
But then...
Yeah, I was wondering, will he kill one of them?
Yeah, there was a moment where I think it's to make you think,
like,
oh fuck, someone's gonna die.
Building up that suspense, but in the end, they do not get shot, so they finish their episode alive and well.
Yeah,
because Gaines still needs them. And then one thing I noted was at the end is that Rick, even though he's trying to come across as the nice guy now, he was watching the whole time and he just stood nothing there. So
I mean,
I think Kim was not too happy as she walked past him, and he just sort of stood there like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't.
Well, he still wants his 10 grand, doesn't he?
True.
But then, does he love Kim now?
I think that's where it's headed. I mean, next in the order, I had CTU, but
Yeah.
to be honest, CTU, there wasn't much action this episode. Certainly in the next two there is, but this one, not a whole lot happened.
Yeah, mainly for CTU, it's just Jamie because obviously
Nina's out.
Yeah, Nina's out for a while. She's not back yet. But we got Gaines is talking to Jamie through like a Palm Pilot.
Yeah, so this is where we get confirmation. I mean, you've been saying it the last couple of episodes that Jamie's definitely in it. And I was like, oh, is she though? No, she definitely is.
Yeah.
She's working
she
for
definitely
Gaines.
is.
It is confirmed. Yeah, that technology is pretty cool. So Gaines is talking through a microphone and he's getting talk to text going through to Jamie like instantly.
He must have some serious RAM on that computer.
At least 16 megabytes.
Yeah. Whew.
Actually, I wonder what it was back then. I can't even remember.
You'd get a gig, or you'd have two.
reckon?
You'd have two 2 gig or something. You're like, fuck yeah, I got 2 gig
In
of RAM.
2001, I don't know.
That'd be massive. Was gig even around back then? We still on floppy disks.
Maybe in storage, but I don't know about in RAM.
Yeah, and in storage you had like a full brick of a huge thing and
Big
plug
disc.
it into the wall. Yeah.
So he would talk into the microphone. It would go to text to Jamie, and then she would have to respond with like just
She
certain
only got
options.
a yes or no option.
Yeah.
And then the last one she didn't, and it was so what the questions? Oh, I didn't write the questions down because they probably weren't that.
No.
But the last one was like, Nina's dead. Make a story up as to why she's not there.
Yeah.
And obviously she couldn't reply. I was like, oh. So
Just
it's just
do
like, did she get the message?
All right. So that's CTU.
Yeah.
I don't even know if we saw Tony at all.
Oh, well, we see Nina and Tony. Because Tony's there.
Of course.
Because Tony's doing other shit in CTU.
Yes.
So,
Well, we might as well move on to that.
Well,
Nina and
yeah,
Tony.
might as well get to Nina. And then she's leaving this like foundry, factory, oil rig thing.
Yeah.
And then obviously not far from like a house. Or who knows how long she walked for? Because
It wasn't her house.
I know it's not her house. She kicks in the fucking door.
I thought you said her house.
Nah.
No.
But she kicks that door. Oh, before the door, did you notice? I noticed this. The car that's parked at the front door's open.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the door's wide open.
What?
Yeah.
No, I didn't notice that.
Also, do you reckon they were like, fuck, was that gunshots? And legged it? Because she obviously wasn't far from where she got shot 5 times or whatever it was.
Maybe that's why the house is abandoned. Or was it a house, or was it like part of the foundry, like an office in the foundry or something like that? I don't know.
I don't know.
Could have been.
But I was so sus on that door being open on the car. I was like, who the fuck leaves the door open?
So she gets in there and gets changed. So she has a costume change.
Does she get changed?
I'm pretty sure. Was it in...
No, she doesn't get changed there.
Where did she get changed?
Back at CTU, I reckon.
Is it?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, so she calls Jamie's
She
phone.
tries to call Jamie, yeah.
But Jamie's fucking around with the Palm Pilot in the toilet,
Yep.
talking to Gaines, and it doesn't ring out. How's Tony? He's like looking over at he's looking at his folder again. Just constantly looking at this fucking
I put a
vignette.
note there to say Tony's still pretending to do work.
Yeah. And then he does the side glare to the phone like, is anyone going to fucking answer that?
Yeah.
And then his phone rings, and he's like, fucking oath. He's like, oh, mate.
Trying to do some work.
Yeah. And then that's where Nina sort of brings him in.
Yeah. No, she does.
Tony's like, oh, fucking, someone's going to tell me what the fuck's going on around here.
Yep.
And then she's like, oh, I can't tell you, I can't get into it right now or something, like, you can't get into it, but I need Jamie. And then
That's right. Jamie's
with
Milo.
Yeah. And then Tony walks in, and then she's in the middle of telling Milo, like, because she's just been told, like, tell a lie about Nina not coming back.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, she's at Division. I just spoke to her a couple of minutes ago. And Tony's like, what? Because he was about to give the phone to Jamie.
Yeah.
And then he does this slow backwards walk. Like, you good, mate? Like,
Just walks out of the office.
And then that's when, like, Tony's like, somebody needs to tell me what the fuck's going on around here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he tells Nina, like, did you just talk to Jamie? And she's like, no.
So then,
And then Nina's like, oh my God.
It must be Jamie.
Yeah. Jamie's the mole.
Yeah. Nina figures out Jamie's a dodgy bitch. So then she tells Tony where she is and to come and get her.
Yeah, and then at the same time, Nina's also worked out, they must be using the cameras or something. Yeah, so it must be the cameras, because then she gets there And she's like, is there cameras in this area?
Yeah.
And Nina, Tony greets her with a kiss and everything. Like, oh, I've missed
Super
you.
awkward.
I've missed you, baby.
Yeah. But that whole scene, I don't know if you thought this as well. That whole scene where they're back at CTU
In that room.
and they're in their room talking. Tony's absolutely overdubbed, and it sounds so weird because it's
really?
all like real flat.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Yeah, it's like he did a voiceover after the fact because there's like no dynamic.
They're probably going to have technical issues like we would.
Oh God, is I still recording? Yes, we're still recording. Good.
Yeah, it was my
again.
mic.
Every
Maybe his
week
mic went dead.
Maybe every week we change the setup just to keep ourselves on.
Just got to give us
on our
something
feet.
to do so we don't get bored.
So yeah, I want to see if I might Google and see if anyone else has said anything about that. But it sounds super weird and like super flat. I don't know if that's just Tony's poor acting.
Yeah, that's right. And then, Tony wants to call Secret Service. Yeah,
Yes.
and it's like, nah, we can't. It's like, no, we got to warn them about Jack. And then there's like a line or something of like David Palmer's more important than Jack and his family or something.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you're right, we got to do it. And then I get a bit sus on Tony still. Because
the way that what he said to Secret Service was
Yeah.
absolutely throwing
Jack under the bus.
Like he wasn't trying
And
to
it was
say,
almost like he's staring at Nina going, well, you can't hear the conversation. I'm just giving like a, yep, you're right. Like, yeah, Jack's turned.
Well, he says to Pierce, take the appropriate action.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah,
Just fucking
take
kill
him
him.
out. Yeah.
But he's the Chuck Norris of
But
our-
Tony knows that. I think he's just jealous. He just wants to take Jack out of the equation.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, Nina and Tony discuss baiting Jamie to get her to...
Yeah, they get Tony to go down to Milo and pretend like, yeah, I got the key card. I want you to keep scanning it.
Yeah.
And it's like, where'd you get it from? It was like in Jack's office.
Yeah, to
watch
Jamie
to watch
to
her
go and
squirm.
talk to Gaines about it.
Yeah.
So then...
she goes to the toilet again with the palm pilot.
Yeah. And I love that Tony doesn't go like and bust open the door like that of the cubicle that she's in. He goes in the cubicle next to her and then, like does the creepy peer over the top.
Fucking pulls a handgun on it. But before that, Nina's like, the cameras are on a 20-second loop.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, 20 seconds. I timed it. I'm pretty sure it was over 20 seconds. I got 22 seconds.
Ooh.
Clearly busted. Gaines would have
Poor
fucking seen
editing.
him.
What are they doing?
But yeah. So he had 20 seconds to get into the female toilet, bust her, get her out, and bring her to this little room that they're in. Yeah,
someone without surveillance, I'm assuming.
Yeah, he's like, I checked the cameras earlier. There's no surveillance in here.
Yeah.
I checked the logs. Yeah.
So then they bring her into the room. They start interrogating her.
Oh, Tony's like slapping the wall behind. He's like, tell me everything you want. I need to know. He's getting all like aggressive.
Yeah, I love that. You see it in TV shows and movies like where they're up against the wall and they're standing like so close to each other. Yeah. And like a hand on the wall.
At one point he takes his jacket off and like throws it down.
He's angry.
Oh yeah. But she's not budging.
No. And she requests, what did she say? Agency counsel.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
She's asked for the lawyer. But again, they're not doing it. They're handcuffing her in that room and
then I've got, must be the end of this little dialogue, but Gaines calls Jamie and says they've been looking for Jack. And so I think Gaines must have called Jamie because he was like trying to text on thing Gaines was, and he's like, no, fuck this, and calls her, and then Jamie shoots off a lie like, yeah, they've been trying to find Jack because he's been acting weird since you took him hostage, technically. And so like that's when I think
so she buys him a little bit of time.
Yeah. But I think that's the end of, unless I fucking...
No, I think that's it for them. That was... As soon as I saw that Jamie, like, she was actual out and she was the one, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Ryan was right.
Yeah. No.
Just
knew it.
So then that leaves us just with Jack and his storyline for this episode. So, as we said earlier... He arrives at the location. I think does he get there after Palmer?
He goes to a bus stop first.
Yeah, because he's got to pick something up.
Yeah, for this dude's one-liner. He's like, hey, Jack. And then just hands through like a little laptop and then walks off.
Yep.
Yeah. So he's got this laptop briefcase, doesn't know what's in it.
No.
And then Imagine getting given a briefcase. You're like, fuck, I'm about to go through security.
Oh,
And
he totally suspects it's like
he's like,
a bomb.
fuck, this is going to be a bomb or something. And which I think I did at the start too. I was like, maybe it's like a secondary, like a bomb.
Yeah.
But I think he brings in the rifle or something.
He does, yeah.
In the laptop.
So he goes to clear security and
Gets Erin again.
gets Pierce, of course.
Yeah.
And Pierce says, all right, you need to open up your suitcase. So
Jack's like sweating.
Again, he thinks as soon as he opens
It
those
looks
latches.
just so dodgy. This giant suitcase with a laptop. He's like, what do you need a laptop for?
Yeah.
He's like, it's got all the information on Palmer on it, of the case. I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
Bring a notebook.
He's like, can you turn it on for me? And then Gaines is in his ear. Any 2 keys, Jack. Just push any 2 keys. And I was like, why would you push 2 keys? Like,
Yeah,
okay.
there should be
But
one power button.
Then it powers up and he's like, good.
He takes a big like sigh of relief.
Yeah.
But again,
How sweaty's Jack, by the way?
I didn't pick up on it.
Oh, he's sweaty.
He would be. He's been running around everywhere.
Oh, no, but he's sweating.
But again, they just accept the fact that this laptop's in this briefcase and that apparently the laptop can't come out of the briefcase.
Yeah, there's no looking under it or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that's
I mean, he's a CTU agent.
And
he's got prior
clearance.
clearance. So
He's got prior clearance to bring a gun as well.
yeah.
That's what, later on.
And the one thing I noticed, can no one see this bug in his ear?
Yeah, I know.
Or do they think that that's just like standard unit for a CTU agent?
It's pretty deep in there.
Yeah, is it though?
They're pretty
like,
light.
is he going to be able to get it out if it's that deep?
It comes out later.
Needs an ENT surgeon to
Yeah.
come and dig it out. So yeah, and that didn't go off, or like when they
Wanded it?
Did they wand him? Maybe they didn't. But even you would think something like that would be picked up, or maybe it's just
Maybe because it was
super
CTU,
high
it's
tech.
just like, yeah, you're cool.
Yeah, come through.
Mm.
So, but it was a nice bit of suspense with the laptop.
Yeah.
I thought they did that well. Yeah. And again, the music's quite good.
Yeah, the music's got better,
Yeah.
especially in the next episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he's in a few chases.
And then so he runs into
Jessica Abrams.
who she's keen on him.
Oh, he's like straight away.
Yeah.
And it's like
So they know each other from
high school.
Yeah, that's right.
He's like, what, 40? It's been a while. And we find out he used to race motorcycles.
I read that as well. So he surfs, he raced motorbikes.
And he speaks Spanish.
He's a CTU agent.
Yeah.
He's one cool
Oh, yeah,
guy.
he was in the army as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, it said military and CIA for a bit.
Yeah.
On the ground for CIA.
He's like the full Chuck Norris of this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what. Yeah, they sort of built him up to be like a James Bond, but like grittier.
Yeah.
So yeah, I said Jessica's definitely keen on Jack.
And this is when Palmer enters.
Well, he also tries. Does he try to get the message to her first, or does Palmer enter first?
Nah, Palmer, and he does that again when he bumped into her again. And it's like, fucking hell, give up, Jessica. Because he says at that point when they bump into each other again, she's like, "Oh, have you seen someone?" And she mentioned someone else's name, like a friend,
Right.
and she's like, "Oh, yeah." She said that you and Terry split up. So she's like
Divorced.
Yeah, and he's at the same time he's trying to write this note like get Palmer out.
Yeah.
And then Gaines is like, did I write the dude's name down? It's like Steve or something.
one of the foundry workers.
Yeah, he's like, and he's got the full on earpiece on.
Yeah.
Did you notice that? I was like, surely someone's gonna be like, "What the fuck is that guy wearing a full earpiece?"
Mate, is it around the time that everyone was wearing those Bluetooth headsets? Or did that come? Do you remember how
Did you have the over the ear ones?
I reckon
I didn't have Bluetooth.
I think I
wasn't
had
rich
one,
enough.
but I didn't ever use it.
No.
But yeah, everyone walked around. So maybe that was just common apparel at the time.
Yeah.
Everyone had their.
Well, he had the
Bluetooth
full
headset.
cord, like curly cord that like went into his shirt. Yeah, it was a full like. Do you copy me?
Right, but he's dressed up as a worker of the.
He had the hard hat on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
But yeah, so he interrupts them.
That's right, because this game say it's taking too long or something like that, or get moving and
Yeah. By the way, we missed the glare. I breezed over the glare from Palmer and Jack.
Oh, when Palmer enters.
So Palmer enters, does a little walk around, is like shaking hands, and Jack's just standing there with this look on his face, like you're gonna die. And David's like, "Whoa, why is this guy like giving me full daggers?"
I don't know. I feel like
Do I
David
recognise
also
him?
looked at him like he recognized him or something like that. There's a moment between the two of them, but for all we know, they're not supposed to know each other.
But surely, being like running for president, you'd be like, okay, so he's head of the counter-terrorism unit.
Yeah.
Good to know. So maybe he's like, I swear I've seen his photo somewhere.
Yeah. So Jackson directed by Gaines to a small room, and this is one thing. Like Gaines knows a lot of shit. So
this is what annoyed me, right?
He just seems to know everything. He's like, yep, go left here, go right there.
Yeah, head to the northeast wall.
Yeah.
I was like, if I was in there, I'd be like, northeast, which way am I going?
I can't see Gaines referring to any notes. He just knows the plan inside out.
This is where I'm like, so you know all this layout. You knew the breakfast was going to be at this location. It's a giant industrial warehouse. You couldn't just hide a rifle or something in the building before everyone rocked up.
Yeah.
Like there's so many hiding spaces where you just be like, oh yeah, fuck. But there it is, bang.
Yep. So then he gets into the small room and Martin's there.
No, before that, he has to get clearance.
Who?
Jack. Do you remember he runs into that agent?
Yeah.
And he's like, I just need to go down here. And he's like, this is a restricted area. And then he's like, got to show him his ID and everything and to let him through.
Right.
And then goes into this medical bay 3.
That's right. Yeah.
And then he's like, wait, Gaines like, yeah, wait here for Martin. How the fuck does Martin get in? He's just a photographer.
Yeah.
This is what I'm like.
Why would he need to be back there?
Did he just go the other way? I just went around. This dude standing there.
Hopped over one of those pipes on the floor.
Yeah. That's why it annoyed me. I was like, I'm so fucking annoyed. Like,
good pickup. All right. So, but then Martin does join him in the little room, and he gets Jack to open up the briefcase.
Yeah.
And he starts. He's putting on like fingerprints. I'm assuming they're Martin's fingerprints.
Yeah, that's what I was like thinking.
Yeah. So he gets the.
But then he makes Jack assemble the gun.
Yeah, I don't know why I put the fingerprints on.
But surely you fucking look like Martin. You're not going to be able to change your looks again. Surely you don't want your Martin's fingerprints.
Yeah.
On
so
the
you're
gun.
Gonna get picked up.
Because I'll be like, yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't
unless it's someone else.
You can't just take a
Maybe
moustache
we'll
off
find out
and go,
later that it wasn't Martin's fingerprints, so it was Jackson and someone else's. I don't know.
Well, yeah, he's like, Jack says, you want my fingerprints on the gun, and he's like, you really think they're going to believe that I would like shoot David Palmer? And then he's like, well, yes.
But again, the gun's quite cool actually. The one that he has to assemble.
Yes. How's the first episode? Or is it?
Yeah, he's got a big sniper rifle.
He's got a full sniper rifle. So you're thinking, okay, he's going to bring a fucking sniper rifle. And it's like a pistol with a giant fucking 6x scope on it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. That wasn't what I was expecting.
It's like back when we used to play, what was it, PUBG.
Oh, yeah.
You'd pick up like the giant scope for the tiny gun.
Yeah. Fuck, I love that game.
He assembles the gun again. How did that not get picked up when Jack brought the briefcase through? Like,
did he have all the parts?
Yeah.
Or did Martin?
No,
Martin was pulling stuff out of his camera, wasn't he?
Was he?
Well, he pulled the fingerprints out of somewhere.
True. But I thought, Jack just started putting all the silver bits together to make this this little silver gun. Gaines tells Jack to go and join Martin as he leaves the medical bay.
Did we skip the part where Jack pulled a gun on him?
Oh, we did.
Yeah, he pulls a gun and he goes, you really want to do that? People are going to get hurt. And then Jack's
Somebody
like,
might get hurt.
decocks and is like, you're right. Puts his gun away. So he's got a gun this whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was cleared to bring one.
Yeah.
So then they leave the room and head over to the vantage point that Martin's going to take the shot from.
This annoyed the fuck out of me as well. Because it's like Martin's standing there with his gun. He's got a like direct line. So David started his speech, hasn't he, at this point? So he's like, that's the other thing. I think I skipped. Aaron gets the call from Tony.
Yeah.
And like they find out it's Jack. So now they're on the hunt for Jack. And the dude that checks Jack into this little medical area when he's like checked his ID, he's like, oh, I think I've got him over here. And Aaron's like, all right, I'll be right there. Where is he? He's like, then he's not in a rush. Aaron's just like looking over everyone and like, I'm like, fuck, would you not be running there going, okay, he's over this side?
Yeah.
That annoyed me. And then the thing that annoyed me was when Jack started walking over to Martin and Martin's lining up the shot. And then the dude's like, hey, you. And calls him over to him. So Jack's standing there. You can see Martin in the background with the gun. Like,
in that
so
shot.
Jack's like just in front of him. And just over Jack's shoulder, there's a dude holding a gun.
This has been a problem with the show from the start, though.
Yeah,
Like every
fucking
time,
annoying me.
every time someone's doing something that they don't want anyone to see, like
Yeah.
clearly people can see them.
Yeah.
So they've continued that at least. There's continuity.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, that just ground my gears. So Martin's ready to take this shot.
Yeah. So when did they? I forgot when they actually come and find, because they mustn't have seen Martin.
They didn't see Martin because in the next episode, Gaines even says like, we haven't heard from Martin for like an hour.
Mm.
So Martin obviously bailed. He's like, fuck this. I look like a photographer.
Yeah, but how did the Secret Service get to Jack when he's standing next to Martin? And
so he was walking towards Martin, and then
of course,
that Secret Service agent that checked him in saw him, and he was like, "Hey, you!" And that's when he walked over and was talking to him, and then you could see fucking
that's
Martin
right.
in the background, with the gun, and
that makes sense. And so Jack goes for the gun of the Secret Service agent.
Yeah, and then old mate yells, "Gun!"
In order just to create a distraction and make everyone move.
Yeah.
And then
they pounce on Palmer,
like,
as they do in all those movies with presidents. But
well, it does happen. We saw with Trump. They do. They jump on.
Yeah.
Happens in real life too.
Do you reckon he faked that?
Let's not get into. I don't know.
Wasn't he playing golf the next day?
His ear looks okay. So then, obviously, it's foiled. He doesn't get shot at that point. So
and the earpiece falls out of Jack's ear when they pin him to the ground.
I didn't pick up on that. I wondered what happened to that.
So that's why Jack's like...
So it wasn't in there that deep.
No,
he was roll out.
He was reaching for it, and he's like... What did he say? He's like, "Don't hurt my family. I didn't do this. Like, it's not my fault." And he's like screaming into it.
I missed the earpiece
and then he's
falling
like,
out.
even Jack's... I think he says like, "I'll do anything."
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And then so Gaines is pissed.
Yeah,
I think he just he yells, "Kill the wife and kid."
Yeah, and then that's when they go back to Terry.
And that's when they get taken out back to get shot.
Yeah,
but ultimately
something happened to stop it. It might have been the phone call with Jamie. I think it was a phone call with Jamie because when he rings her, he's like, "Fuck this," and he rings her instead of palm piloting.
Yeah,
and Jamie's like, "They've been looking for Jack since you because he's been acting."
Does she convince him to keep him alive?
Yeah, so that
still
basically
use him as leverage. Yeah,
yeah. So he then realized, okay, Jack didn't do this on purpose. They were actually looking for Jack. So it was and then that's the episode of.
Yeah, that's it. Jack gets taken into custody by Secret Service, and that's the end.
Yeah.
Good episode.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
It's definitely ramping up.
Yeah, I didn't think the whole Martin trying to take a shot and whatnot was going to happen this early. I thought that would sort of be closer to the end. So, no, it's a good one.
Yeah. Do you know what we might have forgotten?
Oh, no.
Keith and what's his sister's name?
I know she's gone. She hasn't been in these episodes.
So, do you remember where she went?
To pick up her friends.
From the airport.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the last episode we watched, I'm just clutching at straws. That guy that's coming in on a plane.
Oh, yeah.
I'm wondering if because he's not far off.
Yeah.
Arriving, which we'll get to in the third episode. So just remember that.
Okay. Put a pin in
I don't know. I'm just
you're trying to connect the dots.
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe she's going to get kidnapped or something.
All right, episode 9. Now, first thing is this is a fast-paced one. So this one has tons of switching between the different storylines.
Yeah.
So this one might be a bit of a struggle with how it all connects up because people start to meet up and whatnot. And
yeah, we'll give it a crack.
Yeah.
We're still on the grainy film, same recap.
I had the same thing again, yeah.
Was it? I should have looked it up. Was there any breaks?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there was the Christmas break. So I think because this was released in, what do we say? It was around
2001, 2002, wasn't it?
Yeah, but what?
November or something.
Yeah, so I think
it was just after September 11th.
So obviously we'd had 6 episodes or something. So then I think there was a break over the Christmas period, and it's come back in the new year. And I reckon I would have to check it, but I think that new voiceover starts in the new year. Yeah,
interesting.
Maybe I could be wrong.
Yeah. Who do you want to start with?
I reckon David. That's who. I don't know who you've got
let
first,
me go
but I
down
had
to
David's storyline as the first one.
Let me go down to the palm train.
So essentially, there was the gun, and then
Yeah.
he gets evacuated. He goes back to the hotel.
Yeah.
So-
get him in the limo.
Yeah, it was pretty quick actually. Gets back to the
Yeah,
hotel
you gotta
in record time.
Yeah. It's obviously he's probably in the same building.
And again, playing it down like actual
in the car.
attempt.
Yeah, in the car, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He brings back another memory of like, oh, remember when this happened? And I
Yeah.
was like, fucking hell.
How many attempts on his life has he had?
Just get another
Just
job.
another day.
I'd get another job. Fuck that.
So then he gets back there, and Jessica's there. So what's her role?
She's something to do. She must be like PR.
PR or something.
Yeah, like because she knows she was dealing with the photographer.
Right. So she's sort of like
So she must be doing
almost
like-
like his marketing person or something.
Yeah.
But she brings up Keith. She said she's worried that he's not being himself or something like that.
Where is Keith?
He's just off. He just went out.
Was he at the thing?
I don't know.
Did he go to the breakfast?
No,
I'm like,
yeah, he was because he was supposed to be. He
so
said
he's
he
at
was
the
going to be there.
breakfast. Dad's just almost been shot at. No,
Yeah.
fuck, I'm going out. No one's going to want me. I'm going to go out.
So David and Sherry continue to argue. This has been a
Oh, Sherry's still trying to convince
not
him to
do it.
stop
Yeah.
Maureen Kingsley.
So
David's just pissed again.
David's had enough. He's cracked out.
Had enough of your shit.
He's cracked the whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
At what is it? 9 o'clock in the morning.
No,
8
it's
o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like, it's like 12 past 8 or something.
Because who comes in and
Mike.
Mike, that's right. He's
He's
like,
like,
oh,
he says something
it's a
like,
bit early, isn't it?
yeah.
I was waiting for the line of like, it's 9 p.m. somewhere in the world.
Yeah, bit of day drinking. No. It's on the hard stuff too. It's not like he's having a shandy with a breakfast Bellini or something.
So who tells David about Jack? Is it Mike or?
Yeah, so this is when Mike comes in and starts telling Palmer about Jack.
Yeah.
And then they're like,
And Palmer says, "Yeah, I know the." He
He's
said,
like,
"Do
"I
you
know
know
the
him?" He's like, "I
name."
know the name."
yeah, it sounds familiar.
Mm.
And then we skip to, obviously it's back and forth, but then we got Sherry talking to Maureen. She's gone straight to the source,
Yeah.
trying to convince her.
Ask her after David keeps telling her not to.
Yeah.
That the story's going to come out eventually, and we got to get on top of it. But
Yeah.
she's not having a bar of it, so she goes straight to her. She goes over David.
And she gives her information on the assassination attempt.
Yeah, juicy. She makes
She only
it.
wants it. She's like, I just want you to postpone it for like 3 days.
Yeah, but she talks it up, about a conspiracy within the
Yeah.
agency.
Yeah, because how does she know straight away? Oh, I suppose Jack. Maybe she got not Jack. How does she know about Jack?
She
Must have
must,
got told.
she must have been told about it.
Yeah.
I don't know if David tells it. Someone tells her about it, so she's trying to feed her that story to run instead of
Yep.
the story about David's son.
See, this is what I don't understand because, being in TV, I'm not in TV, but like, I can be if you want, guys. Maybe radio. I'm probably suited for radio. Surely a lot of producers and stuff on the Maureen Kingsley show, whatever the fuck she's running, know about the story she's about to break.
Yep.
So, like, surely the people are going,
No, just break the story that we're going to break. That
can
we've
we
been
break
spending
this
the
fucking
last
story?
however many months working on.
Yeah. Like, I guess she's an anchor on whatever.
Yeah, but
Do they
she wouldn't
get-
have final say unless she owns her show or something.
Maybe it is the Maureen Kingsley show.
Maybe it is.
Maybe it's
Someone-
Waking Up with Maureen Kingsley at 9 o'clock.
Yeah. She gives her the different story to run. And then later on, David learns that Kingsley is going to hold off on the Keith story.
Oh, yeah, and he's sus as.
He suspects Sherry, but she lies to him. She makes it sound like she doesn't know what's going on.
And just before that, Keith comes back. And Palmer's trying to tell him, he's like, I got my best lawyers on it. And then, I don't think Keith's having a bar of it, to be honest. He doesn't want to go to jail.
No. That's pretty much it for David's story.
Yeah.
The last two episodes, I mean, obviously David was at the energy facility before, but he hasn't had too much. It's been
he's
much of the
he's
same.
still quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got Terry and Kim being next.
Mm-hmm.
So after they survived and weren't shot before, they're back to the big barn.
I've got first up. Eli comes in and wants a piece of Kim. He's feeling a bit toey. He knows Rick's been on it.
Yeah.
And he really wants Kim. But that must be where we start off straight away
Yeah.
with them.
So, they're back to the big barn. Eli comes in. Like
Kim
you said,
puts up a
Kim.
fight.
Yeah.
Terry's bashing him as well.
Yep.
And then Terry turns around. I won't fight you.
So she's
then
offering
he's
herself
just-
to save Kim.
Yeah. She's sacrificing herself. And then he's like, all right.
Take what he can get.
Yeah. And then it's just disturbing as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't, there's no graphic, it's just, you know what's happening.
It's the implication.
Yeah. And then you do hear a bit of like the belt unbuckling.
Yeah.
And, like bed squeaking for a second.
Again, this all happens, but we can't swear.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
it's like,
it's so
don't
weird.
say fuck.
It's so weird.
And then surely Kim would be like, get the fuck off my mum.
Yeah.
But he's like, damn, get off my mum. Something like that.
Terry also has another plan besides just saving Kim. She also manages to get his phone.
Yeah.
So it wasn't all for nothing.
And then when she does come back, she's like, we are not to tell Jack about any of this.
Yeah.
They're going to keep it a secret.
Mm.
Which I feel like, I mean, I see why, but at the same time, he should be telling Jack.
Oh, yeah. He'll rip Eli's head off.
Yeah.
Make
it last.
Longer than 2 minutes. So then Terry gets so she's got the phone. She tries to call Nina.
Yeah.
But doesn't go through.
So
no, she has to. They come back in.
The Asian guy comes back.
Yeah.
He's like moving a box or something.
Yeah, and then there's like these cabinets over in the corner that you didn't see before.
Oh, really? I didn't notice that.
Because he's loading stuff. He brings a trolley in or something, and he's loading stuff into cabinets or taking stuff out. And it's like, so they're just in this area that has a bunch of stuff that they can go and grab. But anyway.
I mean, there's like so much, like surely you just want to put him in a room where there's nothing.
Yeah.
So that's the end of Terry and
that's
Kim.
It for them. We'll come back to them quite a bit in the next episode. But you want to do Jack next or Nina Tony?
Oh, fuck. Jack's a long one.
Yeah.
We've got, actually, Jamie's pretty hectic in this one too.
Yeah.
We can do that. I don't care. Whichever one you want to do.
I got Jack next in my
All right, I'll go back up to Jack.
order. So we start with him trying to convince.
Oh, so he's been captured.
He's been captured. He's with Secret Service.
Yeah.
We
boys in black.
assume we think so. So he's trying to convince Frank. Now, do we know what position Frank holds?
No, because I got confused. I thought he's the Franken later on.
He's not.
I swear to God, it looks the same. He looks the same.
I think they've just used, which is weird for a show. Like, they're pretty good at not repeating. But in real life, that happens. Like, there's two people with the same name, but you never really have that happen in a show. But
fucking Franks.
I think this is two separate Franks. This Frank is part of a government agency.
But it's like he knows Jack. It's like they're sort of.
Oh no, I think he's from Division. Like, I don't know.
Maybe he is from Division.
I think he might be. Which is what we
or
think
is he
like
the head of
umbrella.
Secret Service, like over Aaron?
Could be.
Because he was the one that's like, Jack, you fucking rang me at 6 o'clock in the morning begging me to have carry a gun.
Oh, that's true.
And then that's where Jack's like, yeah, do you not think if I was carrying my own gun, I'd just shoot him with my own gun?
Yeah.
Not grab. And then he's like, yeah. So he's trying everything
why would
he
he
can.
go for the Secret Service's gun?
Yeah, he's trying everything he can to get released.
And I thought he was pretty convincing. But
I did too.
Yeah, but Frank didn't think so and said...
well, he said it's not up to me.
Yeah, he said, I've got no choice to turn you over to the FBI.
Yeah.
And Frank tells... Jack tells Frank about Kim and Terry.
Yeah, but he's like, off the record, he's like, no, Jack. And he's like,
yeah.
if you repeat any of this, I'll deny it.
Yeah.
And then he tells him about, Jack and Terry and Kim being... He's like... Send a squad car around to my house. They won't be there. I was like,
they could be out shopping.
Yeah, they could. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. Is it 8 o'clock? 9 o'clock?
8, by this time, maybe like 8:15.
So I was like, they could be getting ready for school. It was a school night.
Oh yeah, she's still in school.
Yep.
So then, Jack is getting marched out of the foundry on his way to be handed over to the FBI in handcuffs.
Yeah.
But it's Jack Bauer. So he still manages to overcome the guards even with his handcuffs on. What does he take out? He takes out 2 of them? Or 3 of them?
Yeah, I've got Jack escapes in a cloud of steam. There's just so much steam. Because, they get stopped as they're walking through the building. They're like, hang on. And then one of the workers lets go of the steam. And I was like, okay, you can cross now. Yeah,
I thought it was one of Gaines's guys, and I thought that he was going to do something on purpose, but no.
Yeah.
No. That's the problem with this, because you're expecting twists at every turn.
Yeah, you just never know now.
You're constantly trying to predict where the next twist is going to be.
So, he takes out a couple of guys.
Yep.
Did you see how, because he had his hands behind his back, right?
And he did
I thought about this
maneuver.
Like, do you reckon you could get your hands from behind your back handcuffed to in front of you? Like, do you reckon you'd be able to get your feet through?
I reckon.
I don't reckon I could do it. I mean, I'm fatter than you.
I reckon I could.
Yeah.
I'll give it a try once we finish up.
All right, I'll tie you up.
So yeah, then he's gotten rid of his 2 guards. So then they're giving chase. He's running away through the steam.
Yeah.
And
someone yells out, "Don't shoot the gun," because it's like, I don't know, it explodes or something. So is it steam or is it gas?
Yeah.
But no one's wearing gas masks or anything.
No.
It's like, it's just LPG, guys. Don't worry.
So he's running away, and the one thing that I just could not get out of my head is the person saying, "Bauer."
Really? I didn't even hear it.
Like, says it as he's running away. He says it like 5 times.
Oh, would that be, maybe that was Frank?
I don't know. I think it was just one of the agents.
He just wanted to say something.
Bauer.
He's just an extra.
Yeah.
I just want to say something.
Yeah, that's not how you say Bauer.
Yeah.
So yeah, he gets out of the foundry. First thing he does is carjacks.
Falls down this little cliff, mountain. And then pulls a gun on a car.
Yeah, carjacks
Lauren.
Lauren.
Yeah.
The cafeteria worker.
Yeah, the drink driving cafeteria worker.
That's right.
Single mum.
So he carjacks her. Does she pepper spray him?
Yeah, I was about to say, did you notice it?
It was that quick that I
did
wasn't
it
sure.
in the cut scene in the.
I wasn't sure if it was pepper spray or she just grabbed something and tried to spray him, because he took that like a champ.
Yeah, no, it's Jack Bauer. Nothing
Not
hurts
the first
Jack
time
Bauer.
he's been pepper
I've
sprayed.
even got here, nothing hurts Jack Bauer.
I've got gets pepper sprayed, not very effective.
Love your notes. You need to look at the big dick energy notes.
Yeah. Does he tell her in the car? Like he gives her a rundown, or is it when they get?
So they pull into the construction site.
Yeah,
which is closed. Well, it's open because like a concrete truck comes flying at them. And she's like, "Whoa, park over there!" And then they go to a dead end. He's like, "No," and he's like, "Pull over there into that car park."
Yeah, there's not much going on around them.
Yeah, and then they break into this little site office upstairs.
Yeah,
and Jack gets a phone.
That's
and
right.
calls Nina.
Yeah,
and he's very sorry. He's like, "I'm so sorry, Nina. I'm sorry I shot you. That's what the whole jacket was for."
Yeah.
She's like, "It's okay, Jack."
So meanwhile, Lauren's sort of listening in over the conversation, trying to piece together what's going on.
Yeah, so he talks. He's back. It's like almost like a recap.
Yeah.
So yeah, so if you haven't watched it, you'd be like, "Oh, okay."
Or if you weren't paying attention.
Yeah. Oh,
if you weren't writing notes about this.
Yeah, if you haven't watched it twice in a week and you've written notes.
Yep.
And then Jack finds out about Jamie being the Molly model.
Oh, he doesn't want to believe it.
No, and he's like, she had access to everything.
Yep. So after the call to Nina, Jack has a tell-all to Lauren. He lets her in on what's going on about Kim and Terry, has a bit of a D&M with her.
Yeah.
And then he says to her, "I'm not going to hurt you," or something like that. So she's like,
"Yeah,
well, all right then." So then she just gets up.
I believe you.
So she gets up and goes to leave, and he's like, "I've killed 2 people since midnight." It's like,
I haven't slept in 2 days and I've killed black people.
I'm not going to hurt you, but I will kill you.
He drops the 24. He's like, "I haven't slept in over 24 hours."
Yeah.
Back on the phone call with Nina and stuff though.
Oh, we moved too quickly.
They I've got here. Jack tries to convince Jamie to give up the info and saying, "I don't care about protocol."
That's right. He tries to get on her side to
and is like, I'll clear you. Like, just give us what we need, and I'll make sure you're cleared."
Yeah.
And she's like, "I don't believe you, Jack.
You don't have that power."
And then puts the phone back to Nina. Nina's like, "Oh," and then Jack's like, "She's got a son named Kyle. Bring him in."
Yeah. So instantly from being on her side to like,
he's like, "No, fuck you.
Yep.
I gave you a chance." Yeah. I'm bringing Kyle in. So yeah, Jack goes ruthless. Ruthless Jack strikes again.
Yeah. So then back to the conversation with...
and he asks for a car full of 9mm ammo and lockpick. And he's like, the whole lot. And he's like, park it on the corner of Temple and Mercer.
Again, just knows exactly where he is.
Yeah, I know. And I thought about that. I'm like, how the fuck do you know where you are? Like,
yeah.
Even today, I rely on GPS so much.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Back then, you probably would have known because you would be using street directories.
Like, fuck that, I can't look down while I'm driving.
Yeah, it'd be in your head. So yeah, back to his conversation with Lauren. A bit of a D&M, and we also get a bit. This is where we get a bit of background as to Jack's past. So yeah, he was in the military. He worked in the CIA. I think as a field operative. But then he says, "But I've never been this scared."
Oh, I've also got in it. You're not the only one with problems, Jack.
Yeah,
Because she also she spills a few beans. And
yeah,
like,
she's facing a DUI
I thought
charge.
something more was going to happen with this character. I thought she was
Yeah.
going to become like in it.
Yeah,
That's the vibe I was getting.
I think it was just like a tool to give us a bit of a background on Jack.
Yeah,
And
I think she's just a one episode.
surely,
Like, a fair bit of talking in one episode.
yeah, she's got a good
Oh
part.
yeah, she's got what she gets. She's got done for DUI. She's like, I'm due in court in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And yeah,
And he's like, "Oh, is this the first time?" She's like, first time in a couple
yeah.
of
Jack
years."
started like, oh, do you have a problem?
Yeah,
And then I think that's when she's like, we all have problems, Jack. You're not the only one.
and then Jack has a bit of a kip, nods off for a couple of seconds.
Yeah, and that's where. Oh no, yeah. Then she tries to escape, but the backroom casting couch gets her.
yeah.
And he's like,
wakes him up.
and he does this like full wake up, like you would.
Oh,
I was like, I'd so fucking act like that. He
I had
just-
down here. Jack does a jump scare.
Yeah. And she's like sitting there like, and she knows, she puts her hand on her face like, oh yeah, no, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah. So we forgot earlier that she went out for him and got some bolt cutters that were lying handily just across from them in the yard, and she cuts off his handcuffs.
That was next. After he gets off the phone with Tony. See, your notes just, they're too brief. I've got here, Jack calls Tony and they have it, like this was after the Jack pulls a gun on.
I think I just completely got rid of the Tony conversation altogether.
Oh, they have a massive DM in it. How do you skip that one? They had a D&M. Like,
is that where they get on side?
yeah, they're like, I'm sorry, Jack. I didn't know it was happening to you. And he's like,
Yeah.
it's okay, Tony. And then, yeah.
Oh, sorry. You know what? I think I've got it in Tony's notes. That's why.
Yeah. Oh, so you were full going back and forth. I was like, Jack's just in this one fucking building. I'm just putting him on that.
Yeah. So yeah, they make up
Mm.
because Tony's actually been helpful for once.
Yeah. And he's upgraded from his folder to he's now involved. He doesn't have to side glare everyone.
Yep.
And then that's where, after that, he's like, Jack gets Lauren to get that tool. And I got here, can you go down and get that tool, the one that looks like a hedge trimmer? I'm like, what the fuck do you mean a hedge trimmer?
She's like, do you mean the bolt cutters?
And he's just like, oh, yeah. And then again, like
Nothing
degrades her by going, you're going to have to push really hard. And she's like, I've used bolt cutters before, Jack.
She's like, smack.
And then snaps him open and Jack's free. He even like does like a whole like
I'm free.
arms up thing, doesn't he? Yeah, right. Jack's now free. He really thinks women can't do manly things, doesn't he? Oh, then that's when Jack falls asleep after that. Anyway, it all got mashed into one. Then the cops start coming. They're closing in with the Secret Service.
Yeah.
And the car's now, because the car apparently only takes 10 minutes to fucking get there. As some dude just dumps it, like
Yeah.
full government plates.
Take a car here. Don't ask any questions.
Parks it and just leaves the keys in the ignition.
No, in the
In the visor. They love doing that in America, don't they?
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever done that here. Well, I mean, I still have to start my car with a key.
Oof.
Yeah, must be nice, eh? Just have it in your pocket. Just push the button.
You've got Apple CarPlay though, don't you?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't.
I mean, I would drive a 2022 Hilux.
Yeah.
Toyota Hilux.
Nice one. So cops are coming in.
Yeah, they're closing in, and he's like, Lauren, you're gonna have to go and get the car.
Yeah, pull it around.
This bit here, like, she went down, and I'm like, does anyone not think, oh, this person does not work in this construction site?
Yeah, what's
She's
a
wearing
cafeteria work? Doing?
Yeah.
Or a diner.
Yeah,
maybe.
diner. Home of the $3.30 breakfast or something. She says that at one point.
I don't remember that.
Of course you don't. Notes, mate, notes. You know, is she going to do it or not?
Yep.
Go and get this car. Because she walks down and then Jack's staring at her.
She's heading in the right
She's
direction.
got her hands in her head like, fuck, what do I do? I don't know what to do. Do I go and help Jack or do I dob him in? And she chooses the latter.
Just dobs him in.
Dobs him in, points up.
He's out the back window.
Yep. Smashes. No, he doesn't smash. He just rips the blind off.
Yep.
There's a scaffold out there. It's like, oh,
Handy.
yep. And then gets away again, doesn't he?
So
Well,
he gets to the
the
car.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets to the car.
Yeah, and he's got the lock pick so he can get his handcuffs off. He can reload his weapon.
Yeah.
So he hasn't got his weapon. He's got the Secret Service weapon. Because
Oh.
obviously he's got taken away. I mean, unless they let him keep it.
Yes.
We'll let you keep your weapon, Jack, but just be nice to us.
You were cleared earlier.
Yeah.
So. That's it for Jack. He gets away in the car.
I got written down, Secret Service don't seem too smart. Like, surely you would have been like surrounding the area.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Pincer maneuver. I don't know. I can't remember what that means. All right. So the last one, I think, is Nina and Tony's story, which is pretty good. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, there is a fair bit going on with them and Jamie.
So they start off because obviously they left the last episode where they were interrogating Jamie in the room. So pick up from that same spot where they're trying to turn Jamie, trying to convince her to give them the information.
Yeah. Is this? And then I've got because she talks to Gaines again.
Yes.
Did she pull the cameras? Is that where she disconnected the cameras?
Yes.
And
to
then,
get his attention.
Yeah, and Gaines is like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Well, you don't need them anymore." And like they were getting like, I think she said something about like they were getting suspicious or something. So she's like, "I pulled it so they can't trace us." And he's like, "Okay."
He believes her.
And then she's like, "I bought some time, but not much."
Yeah. So she gives up Gaines's name.
That's right. Yeah.
To them as well.
Yeah.
And she tells them that she just did it for the money. She just needed the money. That's all. And she didn't think anyone was going to get hurt. So that's when she stalls again. And Tony said, Tony says to her, "How could you do this? Betray your country." It's like she's not really betraying the country. It's presidential candidate.
Just the one bloke.
It's not. Yeah.
Did you? So just before that, again, your note taking. So this is a quality piece right here. I've got Nina takes her top off.
Oh, this is where she gets changed.
Tony has a little peek. Did you see that? It like does the split screen thing, and Tony does the whole
in the split screen.
Yeah.
I missed that.
They pull the split screen up, and Tony's just looking over his shoulder like, "What's going on over there?" Nina's down to her bra. She's got bruises all over her from the gunshots.
Yep.
But yeah, she's changing her top.
So she doesn't maintain the same clothes for the entire thing.
No. So it must just be. So when I read
well,
that.
I mean, it's been how many episodes?
We're up to like 9 or 9 because 10 is the next one.
End of 9, yeah.
Yeah. Nina tells Milo she's taken over his job.
That's right.
Her job, Jamie's job.
Yep.
And Milo's like, "I want more money." He's like, "Don't worry, Milo, you get looked after."
Yeah.
And then Tony's in the room with Jamie on his own.
Yeah.
And then starts talking like, "Oh, how much? 1 million, 2 million,
300,000,
300K." And it's like, again, I was like, fucking hell, times must have been tough back then.
What does she say? She's like, "I do the most work and I get paid the least amount," or something like that.
Yeah, and she's all. Is this where she's like,
she's
I'm
a single
mum. I've like my husband just left me and all this. I'm just trying to get by.
Yeah,
and like she's trying to like look after Kyle, which I still don't understand why she did what she did in the end. But that's
I think I know.
I think that's when they tell her why they tell her. No, they tell her we're bringing Kyle in.
Yeah,
and she fully breaks down.
Yeah,
and then they're like, "Talk to us. You need to talk to us unless you want your son to know like you're going to be a traitor." And we missed this part when they're talking about the 300K. Tony's like talks Spanish. It's like just randomly. So I didn't realize he was Spanish or something. That
the last name after he spoke
Almeida.
in Spanish, I was like, "Oh yeah, fair enough." He's probably got.
But I found it at the time. I went and looked it up. But like at the time, I was like, "Did he say something like that makes him seem bad?"
He was like having an inside conversation with her or saying something.
Yeah, because I'm like,
she can understand.
Would she looks like, I don't know. I'm being racist as fuck now, but is she Spanish? Yeah,
possibly.
But yeah, I was like,
if he spoke to her,
because it's right when Nina walks in, and it's almost like he seemed to be like said whatever it was, but I looked it up and he just said, "You're a disgrace."
Right.
So maybe she is Spanish and he's like, "You're a disgrace to our people as well," something like that.
Like speaking Spanish, are they Mexican?
Yeah.
LA has a fairly decent Mexican population, doesn't it?
Yeah, they would.
Yeah.
Until Trump's in.
And then they're all
build the walls.
Yeah. He's come up a couple of times in this episode.
Jesus. I was just about to say it because I looked up that I found information out I didn't want to find out.
Oh, spoilers.
Yeah.
Don't share
really fucked me over too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it's a bad one.
How did you get those spoilers just by looking at what Tony said in Spanish?
I don't know, because I was on fucking 24 Wiki or something. I found a page that's like all about 24. It was like right up my alley.
I've not had any spoilers yet.
Yeah, I can give you one if you want.
No, thank you. So yeah, they threaten Jamie with bringing her son in to see her.
Yeah.
And what she's done. So Jamie breaks, but she needs time to think.
I need a few minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So and
they're just like, okay.
Straight away I made a note. I'm like, something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I
thought the same thing.
Like, don't leave her alone.
Like, who the fuck leaves someone alone?
Yeah.
And I'll be like, no, tell me now. It's like vital information. We need to know right now. It's life and death.
So she's going to do something, and lo and behold, she does.
Yeah, she slits her wrist with a
broken mug.
Yeah. Was that Tony's mug?
Oh, that would be...
I feel like it's
rubbing a bit of
Tony's
salt in
mug.
the wound.
And then this is what I don't understand. Like, she was going on about her son and like, you know, I'm going to be locked up and he's going to think I'm a terrorist and all this, but then
I think
offs herself.
Yeah, I think it was because I think she was worried about Gaines going after her son if she didn't, if she cooperated with CTU. So I thought if she takes herself out of the equation, then he's got no need to go after her son.
But like, seriously, I mean, you could have been like, well, you need to look after my son.
Yeah.
You need to make sure he's looked after.
Put him
which,
into
like, surely they would.
Whitpro.
Yeah.
So I've got here that, yeah, she attempts suicide, but still no swearing. And it's pretty graphic. Like, when they come
it's
into
like
the room,
squirting out and shit. There's like a vein or like a full artery hanging out of her arm.
Yeah.
She did a number on herself.
And I also thought these days, I thought like all those scenes in modern streaming had to have a trigger warning at the start of the episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like in all...
for like suicide, like
13 like
Reasons
graphic,
Why?
Like graphic representation of it. Anyway, I also looked it up because she asked for 2 minutes, and I think they were out for longer than that because they were also talking about other stuff. I looked it up. Exsanguination, 2 to 5 minutes can kill you.
Yeah, she's still got a pulse.
True.
Oh, that's at the start of the next episode. They find.
Oh, you jumped ahead.
But at the end of the episode, this is the end of the episode.
It is, yeah.
Gaines tries to ring the phone,
And
but
they're
she's
like,
not going to answer because she's fucking bleeding out on the floor.
Yep.
So Tony's like looked up at it.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, good one. I
Yeah.
think that like I said earlier,
and that's like the music that
the pace really picked up.
the music, the dance music.
Yeah.
Or is that the next? This might be the next one where the dance music pops up like in the car when he's I think I wrote it down somewhere.
Yeah, no, good episode. This is the one where I really felt like, oh, it's kicked into another gear.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's getting good.
Yeah, I got the techno music in the next one.
So episode 10, you can get started. I'm gonna crack a beer.
Oh, you're gonna crack a beer?
Yeah.
I'm still sucking on this cat's butthole.
Do you want to start with Jack?
Yeah, we might as well. I got Jack first.
All right, before we start.
Straight away, I got. Oh, Jesus! You cut my voice out of that. Everyone wants to hear that rather than my voice. But Jack calls Nina from the car, so he's in the car, and I was like, he calls her on the phone, so like phone up to his ear.
Yeah.
And he's like, blah blah blah, Nina. And he's like, hang on, and then puts it onto the fucking hands free.
Yeah.
Have you noticed when he's in this car, he keeps pulling it off, talking on the phone, and putting it back on?
Why?
Yeah, so I didn't understand. Like, is there a fucking like 10-minute like? No, you can only have your phone on there for 10 minutes before you can take it off again.
Yeah. So he calls her because they've set up a perimeter and he wants a way through. Now, he gets the local PD, lights and sirens, attempting to pull him over. I was like, because he was on the phone to Nina at the time, and I thought, are they pulling him over because he's holding the phone, or they know that he's the one that they're after?
Well, that's like, again, he pulled the phone back out again.
Yeah.
Nina tells Jack about Jamie.
Yes.
Like she's carking it.
Yeah.
And then Jack's like, straight away, you need to get someone over to the hospital to interview her, like, you know, interrogate her.
Yeah.
That's all he cares about. He didn't give a fuck
I
about
don't know.
it.
He loves an interview, and he wants to interview straight away.
Yeah.
As soon as they're awake.
Oh, so this episode is where it mashes like three.
There's a lot of
'cause
crossover.
It's a big, long fucking phone call. Yes, Jack still wants Jamie questions. Nina not doing a great job at telling Jack about the fucking roadblocks.
He's annoyed with it.
He like legit like he said something about like you need to tell me earlier.
Yeah,
because he
gets all boss on her.
Yeah, he pulls a Yui.
Yeah,
and I reckon that's when they got sus because they catch up to him and they're like randomly pulling him over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he gets pulled over by local PD. I love it because he waits for them to get out of the car and start walking over to him.
How's the like Italian looking bloke that gets out?
He reminded me of another actor. It's not the right one, but he reminded me of a comedic actor. I can't remember his name.
And that's when the music kicks in?
I reckon in that situation, like you see in other shows and movies, when they pull over a suspect like that who they think might run, is that they would usually stand by their car and yell at him to get out the car.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Like
but
full
instead,
guns drawn.
They leave their car like quite a way
like
back.
Three keys out the window.
Yeah.
Put your hands
but
out.
they're like 2 or 3 car lengths behind him where they've pulled over. And so they get out, they start walking towards him. He waits for them to get right up to his car.
Do you reckon our cops do that?
I don't know.
I just want to speak tamer over here. No, I'll just go on to the pub, mate. I want a beer. I'll stop.
But once they get to his car, he floors it.
Yeah, and then that's
when the chase music comes in.
the full techno. Like, that was a big thing back then too. Like, all those sort of movies, like the dance music to really hype it up.
Yeah.
And then Jack hides in a car park.
Yeah, he manages to lose
He
the
parks
cops
his car
in the car park, but there's a lot of backup coming in.
Yeah.
So
and then Jack hides under a 4-wheel drive. He's on the phone. I think he's
on the phone to Terry at this point.
Oh, okay, yeah. So Terry calls like CTU again. She managed to get a phone call off again.
Yep.
At this point, and is
on the phone to Tony because Nina's on the phone to Jack.
But then Nina's like, I'll patch
you in.
I've got Nina on the line. And then Jack's like, put her through.
Yep.
Or patch her in. So they're all on the phone in a 3-way.
Yeah.
Which a bit awkward. Like
Jack's ultimate fantasy.
Does Terry know anything about that? Yeah. So he's under a 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
How do they not see him or hear him on the phone?
So that's when he first starts, when he's under the car and Terry's trying to say, Jack, you there? And he's not saying anything straight away because obviously someone's close by. Then he starts whispering to her that he's going to get her out and stuff. And then a bit later on in that conversation, just talking at normal level.
Yeah.
Like he stopped whispering and now he's just talking at his normal level. Like surely he's going to be heard by what is quite a few cops roaming around the car park looking for him.
Yeah, and this is where they tell Milo like start putting a trace on.
Yeah.
Fuck, it takes a while. Like these days, you're like, fuck, where's my phone? So I'll just find my iPhone. There it is.
Yeah, the longest.
Now it's like takes 20 minutes to do a phone trace.
Yeah,
and then he's dropping all these questions, like trying to describe.
Yeah,
and then I've got it. Milo's just bringing drop-down menus of all the questions he's asked. Just like, oh yeah, click that. Yep, there's trees. Yeah, I thought that was funny. And then Jack tells Terry, oh, "I'm going to find you."
Yeah,
trying to give her a bit of hope and don't hang up the phone no matter what. So they stay on the phone for quite a while.
Yeah. Oh, we'll come to that. I've got all that sort of detail in Terry and Kim's storyline.
Oh, and the three family, Jim Carrey, Kim, Terry, and Jack have a big D&M, a little group.
Oh, that's right. She brings the phone over to Kim and
and they're all like huddling around and we love you. Like we're gonna get out of this.
He's a family man.
Yeah,
cuts off people's thumbs. So
I must have skipped completely. Eli comes in once during that to look for the phone, by the way. So he comes in twice.
He comes in twice, yeah.
Yeah, so the first time, it's so stupid. Have you got it?
We'll do that in Kim and Terry's storyline. So then after the I think he's off of the phone now and he's found an opportunity to get out from under the full drive and he hot wires a car.
Yeah, I've got... Jack gets out and hot wires an old shitbox. This is what I don't understand. How the cops not see a car leaving going, oh, there's a car leaving there. Do you reckon that's him? It's like, and they take ages to find Jack's car.
Yeah.
Which is a government plated, like, that's obviously what like their undercover police cars sort of look like.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're like, we found the car. And the dance music starts up again.
So... we might have to actually, again, with the intertwining of these, we might have to come back to the last couple of bits of Jack's story.
We got the email, don't we?
Yeah. So, all right, we'll come back to the last little bit of his. We might move on to...
Should do a bit of Palmer. So
okay. He's pretty small.
I got him next. So he must have, Palmer and Sherry arguing about the story.
Again... David and Sherry continue to argue.
Yeah, but then wants to use the assassination as... Mike's like, we could use the assassination as a sympathy and break the news and try and get people on our side. And then they step out the car and they're all smiles. I was like, I wonder how much goes on in the background.
Arguing to...
I wonder how many times that happened with Obama or something.
Maybe in the limo just secretly hate each other.
Yeah. Because they have to have a wife to be a president.
No, surely not. But it probably wouldn't go over well with voters if they didn't have a strong family. And
you broke up within your 4 years.
Well, if you think, because was it Julia Gillard wasn't married to the hairdresser at the time? This is Australian Prime Minister.
This is Australian Prime Minister, isn't it?
And then is
Albo?
Yeah, or is he just in a long-term relationship?
Oh, Albanese.
I reckon he's not married. There we go. We'll come back to that next episode. Watch out. We'll get the facts. Yeah, they come out. They're all smiles for the camera.
Yeah. And then we skip. They've finished their little wherever they are. because I've got Sherry calls Carl to try and stop him, to try and stop Maureen Kingsley.
Yeah. And he says, no need.
Yeah, and this is where this other fucking Frank dude's sitting. This is like...
This is the same Frank.
I'm like...
Because this guy's a donor. So he's like some probably...
Yeah, he's the biggest donor. Yeah.
And he's the Elon Musk of Trump.
Yeah.
He's
and then that's when Frank Ames... That's his name.
That is his names, yep.
Yeah.
His names. Frank
That's
Ames,
his names.
that's his names. So
like the Simpsons.
Yeah. In front of... Carl's in some meeting, and in front of everyone, he's telling Sherry on the phone that he's going to take care of it, and he's insinuating that...
Well, he's already taken care of it. He's like...
Oh, it's done.
I don't know, yeah.
Something about the...
They're like...
the therapist.
Yeah, so that's right. Because, yeah, this guy's in the meeting with these two other donors as well, maybe.
Must be.
And he's like the biggest donor.
Yep.
That's how I sort of said donor then.
But he's not happy about what's unfolding.
No, because they're like, they want to end it permanently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
then, so yeah, he's like, Mike comes in and David's in the middle of like talking to some kids.
Yeah.
That's right. The kid says, there'll never be a black president.
The little black
My
kid.
daddy says.
Yeah.
The little black kid, yeah. And then he says, you tell your daddy something.
I'll be the first black president or something like that.
Yeah. Palmer tells him to say he'll be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, black kid says there will never be a black president in this country.
Yeah.
So that's when Frank Ames, the donor, confronts David or calls him.
So he rings and he's like, you need to take this call. Mike comes over with the phone. It's like, he's like, I'll call him back. He's like, he's your biggest donor. You need to talk to him now. It says it's important.
And he says he's out of the campaign.
Yeah, because he tells him he knows about Keith and he's washing his hands of David's campaign.
Yeah. Doesn't want to be involved.
Yeah. And then Palmer needs to talk to Carl now. That's what he says to Mike. He gets off the phone. He goes, I need to talk to Carl now. And then that's the end of
David's story.
Palmer.
All right. Let's go on to Kim and Terry. What I originally had called him, because I didn't pick up on his name until you told me, is the bloke comes back for his phone. Eli comes back for his phone. He realizes that he's lost it, but they're looking around in the barn, and all he's doing is he kicks a couple of hay bales, and that's it. And then he gives up,
and he goes back into the other. He's like, they've shifted everything,
and that bet I used is gone.
And then they do the classic. Kim looks at the phone, and Rick
sees directly at it.
Oh, there's the phone, and then just like looks like, I won't say anything.
Yeah,
because Eli's like, did you find it? And he's just sitting there like fumbling around in the same spot. And he's like, nah, didn't find it.
Not in this little bit of hay.
Yeah.
Then Rick and Eli have a bit of a fight. While they're having the fight, the phone starts beeping because it's running out of battery.
Yeah.
So it's giving its location away. Meanwhile, during this time, this phone is this is where they're on that three-way conversation, and they're keeping it open. And they're hiding it up on a what would you call one of those? Rafter of the barn. I know some.
That's a rafter.
I know some trade stuff.
Yeah, fucking nice. I'll get you out in the sight, mate.
So they're keeping it on as long as they can. So they've hidden it, but Jack's still on the other end of the line.
Yeah.
So when the phone starts beeping, Eli spots it, grabs it, and listens to see who's on the call.
Yep.
And I think he says, "Who's this?" or something like that.
Yeah.
And Jack says, "I'm the last thing you'll hear if anything happens to my wife or daughter," or something like that.
Fucking oath.
Loves a good
threat. I was like, fuck yeah. Kim wants to know what happened between Terry and Jack. So the whole breakup thing as to why, and it was
that's right.
Jack went away for a few weeks for training exercise.
Well, no. So I thought that when she said that okay, that's actually when Jack went away with Nina. But I think he was actually, because what she says is that when he came back from this training or mission, essentially,
she said probably it was probably a mission, but he couldn't tell us.
So he had changed and he came back angry, and
so
at first I thought she was gonna that was leading to actually no, Jack was away with Nina having an affair, but no, it sounds like he went away on a mission. Something happened. He came back different and angry, and then so they had a
Terry and
break.
Jack struggled.
Yeah, then they had a break, and then obviously that's when him and Nina hooked up.
Yeah,
during that break,
and then Kim was like, "But you got back together," and it's like, "Yeah, we couldn't stay away." And then Kim's like, "Ah, I love that."
Right for the feels.
And then it's pretty much so. This is the end of the actual episode. So they're like laying it. So Eli's come, grabbed the phone, stormed off. Like, fucking, I'm going to tell Gaines, blah, blah, blah.
Rick's trying to tell him not to.
Yeah, don't do it because it's your phone. Like, he's going to kill you. They're sitting there. Kim's got her head in Terry's lap and she's like having a little nap. And then Terry's like, feels a pain or something.
Yeah, that was like, really weird.
Is she fucking pregnant?
Instant pregnancy.
Is the baby kicking? Yeah. So I don't know. Something. It's got to be something. You can't just sit there and go, oh. And
is it just from what Eli did earlier, or it's a weird way to.
Or has she been shot or something? No, she didn't get shot.
It made it seem like
but she's not bleeding.
No. Anyway, we'll
so
find out.
She's got something wrong with her.
Little cliffhanger for the next episode.
Yeah.
So that's it for them. The only last one I had was Gaines did have a bit more going on in this episode.
We've still got Nina and Tony.
Have we not done Nina?
We haven't.
They were my first ones in this group. So all right, we'll leave Gaines for now.
Gaines the end. Yeah.
Jamie, she has a pulse, but pupils are dilated and not responsive. That's not a good sign.
I wouldn't know.
That is not enough blood getting to the brain.
She's going to have brain damage. She's not going to be able to be interviewed.
No, it's not a good sign. So Nina tells the rest of CTU.
They cart her out through the guts.
I know.
Right down the middle.
Yeah.
And then I've written here, where the fuck is Kyle? Because Kyle's arrived. Because at the same time when they went in the last episode.
Yeah.
For and they're like, fuck, she's bleeding out. Milo rings and is like, yo, Kyle's here. What do you want me to do with him? And then Nina's like, don't fucking bring him in here. Like, put him in another room.
Yeah.
So they must have put him in like a little room or something.
Yeah.
Feel sorry for Kyle.
After the ambulance take Jamie through, Nina talks to CTU, tells them what's happened. Actually tells them, I thought, she'll just try and, give them a bit of a story. No. Completely open.
She's tried to commit suicide. I mean, it's pretty obvious. She's lying there like...
True.
Yeah. And then tells them to get back to work.
Yeah, obviously CTU are quite distraught, but no, got to...
they've had two... You got to remember, they had two people die now. So they've had Richard Walsh.
Yeah.
He's the head of CTU.
I don't think he was. I think he was in division.
But anyway, they've had him die. He died.
Yeah.
And now Jamie's fucking carked. Well, she's on the way to hospital.
Not yet.
And then... So
Jack calls Nina. Nina tells Jack about what happened to Jamie. We sort of covered this a bit off in Jack's...
and in between this, Tony finds an encrypted email on Jamie's computer.
That's right.
Yeah. I fucking laughed because it's like, this whole email's encrypted.
Except for the subject line.
Ted Kofel. Kofel? Yeah.
Kofel. That's what Nina says.
Yeah. Ted Kofel.
I quite like that little bit for some reason. I like the fact that she didn't know how to pronounce it and was like, ooh, is it Kofel or Koffel?
Maybe she didn't at such like, fuck, I can't remember his name. And they've now had to go with it.
Yeah.
Like, great. And gets Milo to start decrypting it.
That's right, yeah. So was he originally... What was he working? He was working on something else, and then Tony tells him he needs to decrypt the email. You need to stop what you're doing and work on that.
Yeah.
Tony also then gets the call from the hospital.
Oh, yep.
We come back and Tony gets the call, and Jamie hasn't made it.
She's carked it.
But Tony is able to find some information on Ted.
Yeah, Kofel. So he's like, what was he? He's like some sort of finance.
He's a financer.
Yeah.
So a financier.
And Jack finds out where he works and stuff.
I think Tony gives him that information.
Yeah. And then he heads over there, doesn't he?
Yeah. In the meantime, someone comes to CTU. So
they find out
CTU gets a new director of CTU, new interim replacement for Jack. Very quick, and Nina says that she's like, "Wow, they move fast."
Yeah. So they got Alberta Green.
Again, this is less than 24 hours.
Yeah.
They've managed to. She's free. She's got nothing else going on.
It's fucking 8 o'clock in the morning. She just probably make 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock.
So, I think did Tony say that to Nina? Oh, didn't she work for you?
Yeah. So
now it's awkward because
this comes back to like another episode where
the interrogation.
Yeah, she's like George Mason,
where
you fucked your life up. Like you could be further ahead.
Yeah.
You're siding with Jack.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
So our Alberta Green comes in. So she arrives and she calls a team meeting first thing.
Yeah.
And she tells CTU that Jack she's actually quite quite good about this. She just says that he was involved in what's going on with David Palmer, but she doesn't say like, no, he's bad and he's. So she just sort of says he's involved, and she says to them, "Now I know most of you haven't slept in 24 hours. Too bad." I thought, she's going to say, but we need to do this for the country or something like that. But no, too bad.
She's had a nap, so she's probably woke up, had a coffee. She's like, oh fuck, I'm here to CTU now.
Yeah.
I got in there as well. They tell Jack, and so Jack obviously must know who Alberta is.
Yeah.
And he just goes, "Damn it." Because that's all he can say.
That's all he's allowed to say. So yeah, this is where we stopped Jack's episode before, but he finds out about Kofel. Oh god, it's gonna annoy me.
Ted.
I think it's Well, let's just go with Ted.
Yeah.
So he finds out where he works, and he rings ahead to Ted's secretary and says, "I'm one of his friends from business school," or something like that.
Is he in?
Is he in?
Yeah.
But he's got to get on a plane, or he's got to get to the airport or something like that for 10 o'clock. So again, we're on the...
Yeah, so you know that he wants to leave early too.
Yeah.
So he's on his way to Denver.
Yes, that's
so
right.
they're trying to... They find out he's on his way to Denver. They're trying to like work out if there's any terrorist connections in Denver. It's like 9:40 or something, and he wants to leave. And his secretary's like, "Oh, one of your friends from business school like was on his way here."
And again, we're now at nearly 9 o'clock in the morning. Like, do we know what day of the week this is?
It's a school day.
Of course.
Yeah.
So this is
probably like
this is
Tuesday.
peak hour, and yet Jack can get across from wherever he was beforehand to.
I find it weird because aren't they voting?
Yes.
Who the fuck votes on a weekday?
Cool. Yeah.
We don't vote on weekdays. We were a Saturday with the sausages.
Oh no, I'm thinking I early voted.
Oh yeah, must be nice.
You can early vote.
Sorry, I had to get on a plane. I couldn't vote in my local area.
So, Jack makes it across from wherever he is to Kofel's.
This is like the map of like wherever they are in LA must be the size of like the very first GTA game.
So he gets there, and again he asks the guy. I think he asks one of the guards at the bottom of the lobby of the building where Kofel's office is. I think it's on floor 40.
Yeah, it's up the top.
Yeah. So
but the receptionist, the most stupid fucking like another stupid person, is like tells Ted like, "Oh, one of your business partners here. He's on his way up." He's like, or something like now, or something, and he's like joking around. He's like, "Well, don't give him my mobile number," because like she felt something iffy. And then Jack pops up and he goes down the elevator.
Yeah.
And then she's like, Where's Ted Kofel? And he's like, "Oh, he just left."
Yeah,
like,
he's just gone down.
He's just gone down to his car. He's on his way to the airport. Like, tells him everything.
Yeah.
And then, so yeah, Jack's like, fuck. So he has to run down the stairs.
So first of all, he pulls the fire alarm.
Yeah.
Which stops the elevator. But then Ted gives us a bit of an insight as to, don't worry about it. These things will override in 20 seconds.
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Yeah, so Jack must know this.
Yeah.
So he's like, fuck yeah, I got a 30-second buffer to get from 40 to 1 or ground, basement, wherever he's
basement, yeah, where the car
his
is.
limo.
He's sprinting down those stairs.
Yeah.
But he makes it. So he gets down. He talks to the driver about where he's supposed to be taking Ted.
Yeah.
And then we don't see it, but we assume that he takes over from the driver, and then Ted gets in the car and Jack's up front.
Yeah.
Changing the aircon for him.
Yeah, and he's like, "Can you put the air?" Because he like sniffs.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, "Fuck, something stinks." Like Jack's obviously.
That's
like,
right.
I'm thinking, I'm like, well, Jack probably fucking stinks. He hasn't had it. He's been up for over 24 hours. He's been running around
everywhere.
Yeah.
Sweating up a storm.
And then he's like, "Can you turn the air on?" And then Jack's got his like aviators on and everything, looking all cool.
Switch gears.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where we leave Jack. He's got Ted in the car. He's clearly going to interrogate him.
Yeah.
Ted might lose a couple of fingers in the next episode. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
And then the one that we haven't done is Gaines.
Gainsy. Do you spell it with an S or a Z?
I've got Gains.
Yeah. My phone automatically did Z. So
Really?
I must have been doing Z. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Anyway.
This is essentially just to set up a little bit of background as to who Gaines is working for.
Yeah. So we kept seeing in previous episode Gaines talk to somebody on the phone, and that person is like, "Are we on track?" And Gaines was constantly like, "Yeah, no, we're looking good." Blah blah, giving him updates. But this time he gets a phone call. We get to hear it.
We get to hear it. We get to see.
Yeah, we get to
person.
see. Yeah. So we got Mr. Drazen.
Yep.
So
and
he looks like he's on a private jet.
It does look like that. Yeah.
Yeah. this person, Drazen, and him and his brother, must have an issue with Palmer and Jack.
Yes.
Which I was like, oh. So, I don't know. Jack will probably, when he hears the name Drazen, maybe when he finds out.
Yeah.
I reckon he'll find out from...
we can't lose this opportunity to take out both Bauer and Palmer on the same day.
They're in the same city.
Yeah.
And all this, so... and Drazen's plane will be landing in 30 minutes and he'll join Gaines by 10:30.
Yep.
So we know next episode they're going to be together.
Yep.
Which is cool. I like...
Yeah, you can sort of forward think and know that, all right, when it clicks over 10:30, that's when we're going to see them join up.
Then I've got Drazen's family has personal issues with the Palmer Bauer.
Yeah. And he said if it doesn't go to plan that he's going to drain Gaines' account. So he's obviously bankrolling him, but he absolutely threatens Gaines.
You remember earlier when I said, where did David Palmer's daughter go?
Yes.
Yeah. She's gone to the airport.
Yeah.
To pick up her friends.
Right.
What happens when Drazen lands?
Oh, you think so?
Is he going to be like, fuck, that's David Palmer's daughter? Nab her?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just clutching at straws, but...
I wonder if she's ever going to come back.
Yeah, she's probably, I don't really want to be in this show anymore.
No, I can't see this going anywhere.
Just kill me off. We can't just kill you off. You're like... But yeah.
Another good one. A lot happening.
Yeah.
But I also like that it's now sort of broadening out as well. So we're finding out who Gaines is working for. That's going to start.
We're pretty close to halfway now.
Yeah.
It's going quick.
Yeah. When I was like, oh yeah, we're up to episode 10. By the next episode, we're going to be over halfway.
Yeah.
That's good.
Going to be good.
I only have one other note, outside of the actual show notes itself, is David's voice when he's giving the speech and stuff, and just when he's talking, he's made for podcast.
Oh,
you talked about, can we get Kiefer Sutherland? I want to get David just to hear his voice.
He's like, what's the other guy?
Have to upgrade the microphones.
Not David Attenborough, but Morgan Freeman. Yeah,
completely different to David Attenborough.
Yep. Well, I mean, you'd think David would get that.
Yeah, it's both voiceovers. Yeah.
Or the dude from SBS.
Which dude from SBS?
The one that's always like, it's like the following contains sexual references, nudity.
It's
and
like
adult
any
themes.
voiceover for like movies and TV shows.
Yeah.
David could, if he wasn't a successful actor, he could definitely do voiceovers.
I heard somewhere. I think he's got his own clothing line.
David Palmer.
Oh, the actor.
Yeah, not the presidential candidate.
The David Palmer has I got David Palmer's golf shirt on right now.
Because I'm going to be giving things away, and it might be like a time jump thing, but I have seen little things of Jack Bauer talking to another president, and it's not David Palmer. So I don't know. It must jump ahead in time for the other seasons. Because like we said earlier, I think they're quite standalone.
You fucking ruined it for me now.
I know.
No.
But again, you don't remember.
I can't remember.
You think David Palmer goes for 9 seasons?
Well,
could do.
Is that?
I don't know.
Does this all happen in like 9 days?
I don't think so.
Or is it 9 days over?
Could be 9 years.
Just once a year.
Yeah, once a year.
Jack
something
gets
comes up.
Once a year.
Another annual problem.
You want to do your rating? I never
know.
No,
I was thinking about that on the way here, and I'm like, I'm getting lost now. There's too many of them to continue to rate. So
I knew that from the start.
What we should have done is like scored them out of 5 or something for each episode as to how much we enjoyed them.
Yeah, true. These last 2 episodes are probably a good 4.5, 5.
Ooh, 5.
They're getting up there.
I would have gone 4s. It's getting pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, that's another week done. I don't know how.
I finished my beer, so that was a good one.
I don't know how long we're recording on a new interface now. So all I know is we've done 3,375 bars at a tempo of 120. So I'm sure we could figure out how many minutes that
Quick
is.
Quick maths. 21. No, it's definitely long because my wife is definitely going to be like, where the fuck are you? It's currently 23:23.
Yeah.
PM.
Right. Better sign off.
All right. How do we do that? I still haven't thought of a thing.
I thought you had one last week. Anyway. All right. Let's catch you later. See you next week.
Later.
Bye.